doing the readings of Emily Bronte poems. Page 166. Song by Julius Brunzada. Geraldine, the moon is shining with so soft, so bright a ray. Seems it not that eve, declining, ushered in a fairer day? While the wind is whispering only, far across the water borne, let us in this silence lonely sit beneath the ancient thorn. Wild the road and rough and dreary, barren all the moorland round, rude the coach that rests us weary, mossy stone and heathy ground. But when winter storms were meeting in the moonless midnight dome, did we heed the tempest's beating, howling round our spirits' home? No, that tree, with branches riven, whitening in the whirl of snow, as it tossed against the heaven, sheltered happy hearts below. And at autumn's mild returning, shall our feet forget the way, and in Cynthia's silver morning, Geraldine, wilt thou delay? Sounds like the Wuthering Heights. She says it was the Heathcliffy ground. Heathcliff. Song by J. Prenzada to G.S. Who are these people? I knew not 'twas so dire a crime to say the word adieu, but this shall be the only time my slighted heart shall sue. The wild moorside, the winter morn, the gnarled and ancient tree, if in your breast they awaken scorn, shall wake the same in me. I can forget black eyes and brows and lips of rosy charm, if you forget the sacred vows those faithless lips could form. If hard commands can tame your love, or prison walls can hold, I would not wish to grieve above a thing so false and cold. And there are bosoms bound to mine with links both tried and strong. There are eyes whose lightning shine has warmed and blessed me long. Those eyes shall make my only day, shall set my spirit free, and chase the foolish thoughts away that mourn your memory. None of my kindred now can tell. None of my kindred now can tell the features once beloved so well. Those dark brown locks that used to deck a snowy brow and rivulets small, now wildly shade my sunburnt neck, and streaming down my shoulders fall. The pure bright red of noble birth has deepened to a gypsy glow, and care has quenched the smile of mirth, and tuned my heart to welcome woe. Yet you must know in infancy full many an eye watched over me. Sweet voices to my slumber sung, my downy couch with silk was hung. And music soothed me when I cried, and when I laughed they all replied. And rosy Blanche, how oft was heard in hall and bower that well-known word, though gathering summers still caressed in kingly courts of favorite guest. A monarch's hand would pour for me the richest gifts of royalty, but clouds will come too soon, they came. For now, through age and not through crime, is Blanche a now forgotten name, true heart and brow unmarked by time. These treasured blessings still are mine. A.G.A. to A.S. This summer wind with thee and me roams in the dawn of day, but thou must be where it shall be ere evening far away. The farewells echo from thy soul shall not depart before hills rise and distant rivers roll between us evermore. I know that I have done thee wrong, and have wronged both thee and heaven, and I may mourn my lifetime long, yet may not be forgiven. Repentant tears will vainly fall to chancel deeds untrue. But for no grief can I recall the dreary word adieu. Yet though thou a future peace shall win, because thy soul is clear, and I, who had the heart to sin, will find a heart to bear. Till far beyond earth's frenzied strife that makes destruction joy, thy perished faith shall spring to life, and my remorse shall die. How few of all the hearts that loved are grieving for thee now, and why should mine tonight be moved with such a sense of woe? Too often, thus when left alone, when none my thoughts can see, comes back a word, a passing tone from thy strange history. Sometimes I seem to see thee rise a glorious child again, all virtues beaming from thine eyes that ever honored men, courage and truth, a generous breast, when love and gladness lay, a being whose very memory blessed and made the mourner gay. O fairer spread thy early sail, and fresh and pure and free was the first impulse of the gale that urged life's wave for thee. Why did the pilot not confiding dream over that ocean's foam, and trust in pleasure's careless guiding to bring his vessel home? Oh well, he knew what dangers frowned, what mist would gather dim, what rocks and shells and sands lay round between his port and him. The very brightness of the sun, the splendor of the main, the wind that bore him wildly on, shall not have warned in vain. An anxious gazer from the shore, I marked the whitening wave, and wept above thy fate the more, because I could not save. It recks not now when all is over, but yet my heart will be a mourner still, though friend and lover have both forgotten thee. 1,000 sounds of happiness. Let's see what this one has. So finally she's getting happy. 1,000 sounds of happiness and only one of real distress. One hardly uttered groan, but that has hushed all vocal joy, eclipsed the glory of the sky, and made me think that misery rules in our world alone. About his face the sunshine glows, and in his hair the south wind blows, and violet and wild woodrose are sweetly breathing near. Nothing without suggest dismay, if he could force his mind away from tracking farther day by day the desert of despair. Let me see if he can just change his mind. He could, through mindfulness. Too truly agonized to weep, his eyes are motionless as sleep. His frequent sighs, long drawn and deep, are anguish to my ear, and I would soothe, but can I call the cold corpse from its funeral pall, and cause a gleam of hope to fall with my counseling tear? O death, so many spirits driven through this false world, their all had given to win the everlasting haven, to suffer so divine. Why didst thou smit the loved, the blessed, the ardent, and the happy breast, that full of hope desired not rest, and shrank appalled from thine? At least since thou wilt not restore, in mercy haunch one arrow more, life's conscious death it wearies sore. It tortures worse than thee. Enough of storms have bowed his head. Grant him at last a quiet bed beside his early stricken dead, even where he yearns to be. My goodness. Did she find the 1,000 sounds of happiness? Did you hear them? You did?
No.
You didn't hear? There was 1,000 sounds of happiness in that one. Up to page 177. We read to 177, Bronte, Emily Bronte poems. Read that one again? Yeah, we read from I think 166. Read it again. Are we going to find the happiness somehow? You got to understand, she is very... What? Her poetry is rather dark, but she has 1,000 sounds of happiness.
But no one sounds like happy.
This one is happier?
No.
No. I'll read it. You want me to read it again?
Yeah.
1,000 sounds of happiness and only one of real distress. One hardly uttered groan, but that has hushed all vocal joy. Seems one bad thing wrecked everything else. Eclipsed the glory of the sky and made me think that misery rules our world alone. About his face the sunshine glows, and in his hair the south wind blows, and violet and wild woodrose are sweetly breathing near. Nothing without suggests dismay if he could force his mind away from tracking farther day by day the desert of despair. Goodness, sounds like Heathcliff can't get...
She's concentrated on the one thing instead of 1,000.
There's 1,000 sounds of happiness, and she's getting ruined by one thought.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Too truly agonized to weep, his eyes are motionless as sleep. His frequent sighs, long drawn and deep, are anguish to my ear. And I would soothe, but can I call the cold corpse from its funeral pall and cause a gleam of hope to fall with my consoling tear? Sounds like her poor brother is like, maybe her brother's messed up everything.
I don't know what she's talking about. The whole village, I guess.
Remember, her brother's always coming home drunk. Oh, death, so many spirits driven through this false world, they all had given to win the everlasting haven, to suffer so divine. Why didst thou smit the love, the blessed, the ardent, and the happy breast that, full of hope, desired not rest, and shrank appalled from thine? At least, since thou wilt not restore, in mercy launch one arrow more. Life's conscious death, it wearies sore, its tortures worse than thee. Enough of storms have bowed his head, grant him at last a quiet bed. At least you get quiet in bed. Maybe it's her brother. Besides, his early stricken dead, even where he yearns to be. I don't know. I like her poetry, but it's rather dark. Even with 1,000 sounds of happiness. We read page 166, I think, to 177 from the Emily.
She never talks about something happy.
Never.
Maybe.
She's not happy?
No.
She still has what good poems. So.
After the movie, you saw how horrible that town was with that people dying from the water. And
yeah, I know. It was from Yorkshire. It was rather rough weather, and it produced the book Wuthering Heights. This is the poetry of Wuthering Heights, or Emily Bronte, actually. I like the poetry probably better than Wuthering Heights. But who knows? I still like it, even though her 1,000 sounds of happiness was crushed by one bad thought.